What's going on, guys? I am dressed up, about to go to a very exciting and very important meeting after this. But before we do that, I'm going to be answering a number of questions that have come through on Instagram. So a bit of a Q&A. And the first question is, what cars do I currently own? And what are my plans to buy more? So right now, I actually don't own any cars. The last cars I had the couple Lamborghini Huracans, the Performantes. I had the coupe, and then I bought the Spider. I sold them. The reason I sold them was twofold. One, I got offered a good price. Both of the cars I sold for a small profit, but to be able to drive those cars, which were essentially my dream cars, put miles on them, enjoy them, have fun, and essentially get paid for driving them was like no-brainer. The second thing was I just got to the point where I realized the more you have of something, the less you appreciate it. And I had the Range Rover Sport as well, which was my daily, but that came up the end of its finance time. I had that since I was like 21 years old. When I was young, made a fair bit of cash off like my first few property deals. As you do as a young guy, you make a bit of money, you go buy a silly car. I ended up giving that back. Had probably like 60,000 miles on it. It was starting to fall apart. And so really I would just daily around London, central London, a Lamborghini Huracan. But it got to the point where, like I say, the more you use something, the more you have of something, the less you appreciate it. And it got to the point where the car isn't the most comfortable thing in the world. And I was starting to like complain about driving it. I was like, I don't really want to have to drive this. And I'd end up just getting in Ubers. And it really like put me into a state of reflection. It was like, I've worked so hard. It was my dream for a long time to own a nice car like this. And now I don't really appreciate it as much as I should. And I almost felt a little bit like guilty and ashamed. So when I had the call from Max, my friend, my dealer at Lamborghini, saying, hey, I've got someone that's looking for exactly your spec. They're happy to pay good money for it. Do you want to let go? Just seemed right. That was some time ago now. And I've enjoyed just getting in the back of Ubers. It allows me to work. I can send emails, text messages, etc. Sit on my laptop. But I am at a point now where we're entering summer. I'm looking outside my view of the apartment right now. It's beautiful blue skies. It's light in the evenings. And it's really, really tempting me to buy another car or two. In fact, yesterday I was scrolling through Auto Trader, sending a few links to my friends, seeing what do you think. I'd be curious to know from you guys what car you think I should buy next. There's a couple of options. I'm not going to spoil it right now. But I'd be keen to know from you guys. So yeah, comment down below what car you think I should buy next. Second question is, do you rent where you live? If so, why? And how much is it? So I've lived in this place coming up to 4 years now, which is crazy. Time has really flown by. It's a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. I think it's actually a little bit bigger than it looks on video. That's what most people comment anyway when they come and see it. I rent this place. To buy this place, it'd probably be in the region of like £2.5-3 million if I was to guess, based on what I've seen as sold in this building as well. But I rent it. I pay, like I'm happy to be transparent, just under £6,000 per month, which might seem like a lot of money, but of course it's all proportionate to your income. For me, I've always said I am very passionate about being in the right environments and happy to pay the right price and a premium to be not only live in an amazing city like London, but to live in an amazing building with, amazing views and just somewhere that inspires me every single day. Of course, it's great for networking in this building. A couple of the guys in the building have become investors and partners in some real estate deals, like I've said before. And also met some of my best friends in this building now, relationships which I hold very dear to my heart. So the reason I rent is as opposed to buy. Look, there's no right or wrong answer. A lot of people ask, should you rent where you live or should you buy where you live? My opinion is buying a home isn't a bad investment, but what isn't a good investment is putting 99% of your savings and your money that you own into the property that you own, and then literally going broke and having no money left over, trapping yourself with a mortgage where from your income, after you spend on the mortgage, you're not able to save much. It's almost like trapping yourself. So that's my opinion on buying versus renting. For me, I would rather keep my capital liquid, deploy it in the business, grow it. And I'm young as well. I'm a big believer. I have a bit of a contrarian opinion when it comes to spending money. I believe you should enjoy your money. Yes, you need to manage your finances properly like a hawk. But I'm not a big believer in frugality as such. I actually believe sometimes the more money you spend, the more money flows back to you because you create opportunity, you pay money to get in the right places, you meet good connections, that turns into business deals, and that ultimately allows you to make more money. So the third question is, any tips for dealing with stress as a business owner? I made a decision a number of years ago that at the time I kind of had what's called a lifestyle business. We had like almost no team, a very small team, very lean operation. And with that comes actually very little responsibility, very little obligation. And, you know, you can have a lifestyle business that produces a lot of money. You can earn 6 figures a month with the right lifestyle business, with the right business model. And I wanted to play a bigger game. I made a conscious decision that like a lifestyle business is great, but playing small, in my opinion, is not serving the world in a greater way. I want to build a growth business. I want to build a business that I can build and sell, which is my plan. And to do that, you need to take on a lot more responsibility. You need to build a team. There might be shareholder obligations, might be bank obligations, etc. And you're like, get out the world's smallest violin, right? But there's that saying that heavy is the head that wears the crown. And you do take on a lot of pressure, but pressure is a privilege. And I think really, one character trait I think is important if you want to play a bigger game is you need to have high stress tolerance, and it's a muscle that can be worked. The more you put yourself under pressure, the more you just get used to it, and that just becomes your perpetual state. I don't like the word stress. Stress, in my opinion, is a word that people use that can't handle pressure. You can experience pressure. You can experience, intensity. In my opinion, stress is anxiety. And anxiety comes from when you have problems that are occurring that either you're not working on the solution because you're procrastinating, or you don't know what the solution is. If you have problems and you find solutions and you work on those solutions, anxiety tends to dissipate and disappear, but you can still feel the pressure. But pressure is good. Like, it's a cliche saying, pressure makes diamonds. But when you have pressure, it forces you to work. It forces you to do more, to show up. And so for me, I find it so much easier to wake up in the morning early when I know there's people that rely on me, because I've got to be the one setting an example. I've got to be the one leading the team. So it's a bit of a perspective shift. Getting your sleep dialed in is very, very important for your mental state and your mind's ability to tolerate stress. Working out, of course, putting yourself through a heavy workout. Some people like meditation. For me, I do a little bit of meditation here and there. Cold showers is kind of like my meditation, if you like. But yeah, just being able to control your emotional state. Mastering your emotions is like one of the most important things you can do to succeed in business and in life and in relationships. And so just constantly doing that inner work, that reflection, will hopefully allow you to tolerate the pressure a little bit better. Cool. So the fourth question is, am I going to move to Dubai? If you asked me 6 or 12 months ago, I probably would have said hard no. A lot of my closest friends have moved to Dubai over the last 12 months. And I still have friends here in London, of course, but like my closest friends have mostly moved to Dubai, and not so much for like the tax benefits, which everyone thinks, but it's a great lifestyle out there, great weather, amazing kind of fitness, health and fitness culture with amazing gyms and amazing food, amazing people. And of course, like every place has its pros and cons. Like people will say, oh no, Dubai is this, Dubai is that, all these negative things. And other people say Dubai is beautiful. Like it all comes down to your ability to, seek out the beautiful things. A lot of people say to me, oh no, London is a shithole. Why would you live in London? I'm like, I don't know what London you've experienced. For me, London is one of the most beautiful cities in the world with most beautiful architecture, some of the best restaurants in the world, the best shopping in the world, the best parks in the world. On a bright, clear summer's day, it's just, the vibes are incredible. But of course, there are bad sides to every place. So it depends what you choose to focus on, right? So Dubai has its pros and cons. I want to spend more time out in Dubai. I'm very bullish on the Middle East. I'm learning Arabic at the minute. I'm about 6 months into learning Arabic slowly. And there's a lot of wealth that's going to be made out there. And so hence the reason I'm learning Arabic, so I can get an edge and just as a challenge, really. But it's somewhere I'm going to spend a lot more time. Will I move out there? I don't know. I like the idea of kind of living between 1 or 2 places. So yeah, who knows what the future has in store. And so the next question is, what makes a successful real estate agent and what do we look for when hiring? So for those that don't know, one of my businesses is Luxury Property Partners. We're a high-end estate agency business who specialize in the £1 million+ market. And They're the kind of properties we specialize in selling and marketing. I've had hundreds of applications from people to come work for us. From that, less than probably 5%, we actually offer an opportunity to. One, we have high standards of who we want to represent the brand, but two, we know what it takes to be successful, and it is a difficult business. The opportunity is huge. The income potential is multi-six figures, especially kind of year 2, year 3 onwards. That's when the magic really happens. Year 1 is all about building your skill sets, your knowledge base, your pipeline, your personal brand. And then off the back of doing that, year 2, year 3 is when you really see things take off. Of course, you're going to make a little bit of cash year 1. It requires someone that's tenacious, someone that is just has the ability to separate how they feel from what they do, because it's very difficult at times. A lot of people say real estate and sales in general sometimes is champagne and razor blades. Some days you're popping champagne, some days it's razor blades, and you've got to be able to just really master and control your emotions and just be tenacious in the sense that regardless of how you feel or how challenging it might be at sometimes, you keep pushing forward, you keep following the process, you keep thinking long term. In terms of skills that are required, it requires someone that's, of course, has good communication skills, good sales acumen, someone that understands marketing. Now, these are skills that can be learned and they're developed over time. What we look for is evidence of either previous industry experience and failing that, evidence in sales or client-facing work where they've had to develop communication skills in that role. And beyond that, it's a people's business. It's a people's business, and the real estate is just the product that we sell. And so really just having the emotional intelligence to be able to deal with people, have those uncomfortable conversations, and just get the job done. It's work ethic, like hard work. It is very hard work. So that's what we look for. We just look for evidence of exceptional ability. We have very clear values. We have a clear vision, mission, principles as a business. And so we have clear values that we want all of our team to align with. And so those are values like better every day. We want to ensure everyone that joins their business, our business, is part of our culture where every day we're constantly learning and we're constantly improving. And so when we're hiring, we're looking for evidence of personal development in that individual. So we ask things like, talk to us about your personal development journey. What resources do you like to learn from, etc. Things like excruciatingly high standards. We want to see evidence of how that person holds himself to a high standard in some area of their life, whether it's their health and fitness, whether it's their business, whether it's their previous job role. Things like reputation management, of course. Reputation is key. So, are they going to be someone that can manage their reputation well, because their reputation is also a reflection of the business? A few other things like that. And if they align with those values, then great. And then last question is, what are your biggest regrets from your property journey so far? 2 things. One is I should have created content much sooner and documented my journey. I mean, I've got some photos, really not much video of like the first kind of real estate deals I did. But I wish from the moment I went to that first ever seminar where I started to learn about property, that I just documented my journey. The failures, the fuck ups, the misery, securing the first deal, the process, the things I were learning, so I could go back in time now and so you guys could go back now and watch that. I didn't do that, unfortunately. And this is why, and it's when I did start doing that is when I really saw the business began to take off. I saw the opportunity that personal branding can bring. And so it's why I like to kind of make the point, like I did in the video prior to this one, you need to build a personal brand. Creating content is one of those things that you will never regret in the future. And secondly is a lot of the first projects I did, I flipped them, I sold them. I was young and it sounds so silly to say it now, but it's like when you have £50,000 in your bank account versus £50,000 tied up in a property, you feel wealthier when the £50,000 is in your bank account and you can open up online banking and you can see the money's in there. Truly, you're wealthier when the £50,000 is tied up in an asset that appreciates and produces an income every single month. But for me, maybe it was ego or just someone hadn't advised me or just wisdom wasn't there. I decided, the properties, I just want to flip them and build my cash pot, which I think is just such a mistake. Where you can, you should be retaining as much property as possible. Moving forward now with the deals that we're entering into at the moment, which you guys will be seeing in coming weeks or the next couple of months, we're just going to retain everything. And my real estate company is just going to act as a personal investment vehicle for decades to come. And a lot of people say, oh, I want to build my cash pot because I want to roll it into another deal. Is no, you should be raising cash. The cash you need for real estate deals should be coming from funding partners, from investors that want to partner with you so they can come on these deals. So you can retain your assets and keep your money multiplying. And then future projects you want to do, you find partners that want to come in. That's where the cash should come from. So they're the two things, not documenting my journey earlier and not retaining more of the assets, because those properties now, 8 years on, in fact, would be worth a hell of a lot more than what I bought them for. Plus the rental income they would have produced, plus I would have refinanced them a couple of times and then used that capital to put into other assets. So I don't want to think about the money that I've left on the table, but I'm still doing okay, so I can't complain. But anyway, that's all the questions for this video. Any more questions, drop them below. Let me know what car you think I should buy, because I'm probably going to make a decision in the next couple of weeks. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.